Hello, today I'm going to be talking about what is normal. So, what is normal? Well, there's a short answer and a long answer. Short answer is this. What is normal is what behaviour Hello, today I'm going to be answering the question, what is normal? Now there's a short answer and a long answer. Short answer is this. What is normal is behaviour that follows social norms. Well, what are social norms? These are what we call unwritten rules. Now, in your lives, you'll have lots of rules. Rules at school, legal rules, rules your parents give to you. There's also lots of rules that we don't really think about a lot. So, imagine that you were getting on a bus. Get on a bus and you sit on the floor. Not on the seats, not standing, you sit on the floor. What do you think is going to happen? Well, people are going to look at you funny because you've broken an unwritten social rule. You've broken a social norm. Now, behaviour that breaks social norms is what we call deviant behaviour. Okay, so it's different from, deviating from the norm. Is it bad to be a deviant? Well, depends, doesn't it? I mean, if the norms are, in a society are good norms, well, being a deviant is probably a bad thing. But imagine, if you will, Nazi Germany back in the 1930s. Now, it would have been normal to hate Jewish people. It would be normal to hate lots of different types of people. It's a very hateful society. Now, if you were deviant in that society, if you were away from the norms, I think personally that would make you a good person. So, whether normal is good or bad is only as good as the rules in a given society. Okay, long answer now. What is normal? Well, what is normal behaviour depends on who you are and the context you're in. So if I turned up to school wearing a t-shirt rather than my suit and tie, that would be abnormal for a teacher. But then again, if I was sitting around in my living room in a suit and tie, that would be abnormal. So it depends on the context. Also, it depends who you are. If you can imagine a young man getting onto a bus and asking a little old lady to stand up so he can sit down, that would seem very abnormal. And this brings me to the final point I'd like to talk about. Garthinkling. Unusual word. Garthinkling comes from Harold Garfinkel, who was a professor of sociology in 1960s America. And what he got his students to do was to go out and break minor social rules. So he got one of his healthy male students to go out and ask little ladies to go and have their seat on the Chicago Metro. This met with a lot of reaction. Another thing that he got them to do was to go around picking up litter. Now, if you see a litter picking man picking up litter, you think, oh, perfectly normal. But these were, people who very obviously weren't litter pickers, and they got some extremely peculiar looks. So you can see that what is normal depends very much on who you are, situation, and the rules of your society. So, are we normal? Well, we're all normal to some extent.